Hey anime fans, casual weebs, and accidental clickers googling, how tall is Gojo Satoru? Welcome back. Today, we're diving deep into the anime ocean to uncover the top 10 underrated anime you probably skipped, but shouldn't have. These hidden gems didn't get the hype they deserve. Maybe marketing dropped the ball, or the internet was too busy simping for Levi. Either way, I've hunted down soulful, absurd, and downright unhinged shows that'll make you say, wait, I missed this? So grab your Pocky, pause your Crunchyroll auto-renewal, and get ready to add some seriously underrated titles to your watch list. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. Your anime backlog will thank you. Starting the list with number 10, we have Samurai Champloo. Alright, time to wrap this list with a classic that's like if a samurai movie crashed a hip-hop concert and somehow made the best mashup ever. Samurai Champloo is that perfect blend of Edo period Japan meets modern beats, sword fights, and a story that's cooler than a cucumber in a kimono. The show follows three unlikely travel buddies. Mujin, a wild and unpredictable swordsman who fights like he's got ants in his pants. Jin, a stoic, super-skilled samurai who's basically the calm to Mujin's storm. And Fu, a spunky waitress on a quest to find a mysterious samurai who smells like sunflowers and trouble. Together they roam Japan, getting into all sorts of trouble, sword fights, and weird adventures that are as stylish as they are chaotic. What makes Samurai Champloo so darn underrated is its unique style and swagger. It's like a samurai anime that doesn't take itself too seriously, but still delivers intense action and emotional depth. The animation is fluid and dynamic, with fight scenes choreographed like a breakdance battle with katanas. And the soundtrack? Oh man, the soundtrack is straight fire. Produced by the legendary Nujabes and others, it mixes smooth hip-hop beats with traditional Japanese sounds, making you want to both nod your head and draw your sword at the same time. But beyond the style and fight scenes, the characters are what make this show unforgettable. Mugen and Jin's constant bickering and contrasting personalities create some of the funniest and most memorable moments in anime history, while Fu's determination adds heart to the wild ride. It's like a buddy comedy, a samurai epic, and a road trip movie all rolled into one. Samurai Champloo isn't just an anime, it's a vibe. It blends cultures, genres, and emotions in a way that's still fresh nearly 2 decades later. If you've somehow missed it, now's the time to hop on this wild ride of swords, beats, and unforgettable characters. So grab your headphones and your katana, or just your couch, because Samurai Champloo is the ultimate underrated anime you absolutely shouldn't sleep on. Now on number 9, Tokyo 24th Ward. Strap in, because Tokyo 24th Ward is like if Stranger Things took a high-speed train to a futuristic Tokyo, mixed with a teen superhero origin story, and a hefty dose of mystery that'll have you glued to your screen like a detective on a caffeine binge. It's the kind of anime that blends high-stakes action with emotional drama, and somehow makes it all feel fresh and intense. The story revolves around 3 childhood friends, Ran, Ku, and Shuta, who live in the mysterious Tokyo 24th Ward. When a devastating disaster strikes their city, the boys discover strange powers and dark secrets that tie back to their pasts and the city's fate. Suddenly, these regular teens have to balance school, friendship, and literally saving the world. No pressure, right? What sets Tokyo 24th Ward apart is its slick animation and intense atmosphere. The city feels alive and dangerous, with neon-lit streets that pulse with secret. The action scenes are sharp, fast-paced, and choreographed, with a stylish flair that'll make your heart race faster than your Wi-Fi on a good day. Plus, the soundtrack is this perfect mix of futuristic beats and emotional melody, basically your new study or hype playlist. But here's the real kicker. The show doesn't just focus on cool powers and explosions. It dives deep into the complicated bonds between the trio, exploring themes of trust, loss, and what it means to protect those you love, even if it means making some seriously tough choices. The character development hits hard, with each friend struggling to grow up while wrestling with secrets that could tear them apart. If you're craving a show that's equal parts mystery thriller, sci-fi adventure, and heartfelt drama, Tokyo 24th Ward delivers in spades. It's underrated because it sneaks under the radar behind bigger titles, but once you watch it, you'll wonder why you didn't hear about it sooner. So, ready to uncover the secrets of the Tokyo 24th Ward? Grab your popcorn, power up your brain cells, and prepare for a wild ride through neon streets and shattered friendships. This one's a hidden gem you don't want to miss. Next on number 8, Beautiful Bones, Sakurako's Investigation. Picture this: a brilliant, eccentric osteologist who's basically a walking bone encyclopedia, a high school boy stuck tagging along, and a bunch of creepy mysteries that involve more skeletons than your average Halloween party. Welcome to Beautiful Bones, Sakurako's Investigation. the anime that makes bone science strangely cool and murder mysteries feel like a bizarre but addictive treasure hunt. Our main star, Sakurako Kujo, isn't your typical detective. Instead of flashy gadgets or tough guy bravado, she uses her uncanny ability to analyze bones to solve grisly crime. And no, she doesn't just say, "Oh, this bone is broken." She goes full Sherlock Holmes but with skeletons, and somehow makes it all look elegant and classy. Meanwhile, her reluctant sidekick, Shutaru, tries to keep up and occasionally provide the voice of reason, or at least comic relief when things get too creepy. What really makes this anime stand out is how it blends beautiful visuals with dark, twisted stories. The animation is sleek and moody, like a noir film dipped in a pale, bone-white filter. Fitting, right? The atmosphere is a perfect mix of eerie mystery and quiet, reflective moments when Sakurako contemplates life, death, and the stories bones tell. It's basically a creepy yet poetic dance with death, and you'll find yourself hooked on the puzzles like a bone collector on a binge. And don't worry, Beautiful Bones doesn't get too gross for the squeamish. It's detailed enough to be fascinating but stops short of turning into a full-on horror fest. Plus, the soundtrack adds a chill, suspenseful vibe that keeps you on edge but also kinda hypnotized, like you're watching a crime drama while sipping tea. If you're a fan of smart mysteries with a dash of gothic flair and a heroine who's equal parts badass and bone nerd, this show is an absolute hidden gem. It's the kind of anime that sneaks under the radar, but once you start, you won't want to stop. Because let's be real, who knew bones could be so captivating? So if you want to solve crimes, appreciate the beauty in the macabre, and meet a bone-loving detective who's just a little bit obsessed, Beautiful Bones Sakurako's Investigation is your next must-watch. On number 7, we got Akiba Maid War. Imagine Maid Cafe meets The Godfather. Yes, really. Akiba Maid War takes the cute, bubbly world of Japanese maids and throws it headfirst into a violent, chaotic turf war that's so unexpectedly wild, you'll laugh, gasp, and maybe question your life choices all at once. This isn't your grandma's maid anime. It's more like if Kill Bill had a cosplay-themed midlife crisis. The story centers on Nagomi Wahira, a fresh-faced new maid trying to survive her first day at the notorious maid cafe, Akiba Maid War. But don't get it twisted. This cafe is less adorable tea and cakes and more gangsters in frilly aprons. Think back alley brawls, underhanded schemes, and maids packing heat hidden under their skirts. It's like Alice in Wonderland if Alice got tangled in Yakuza business instead of chasing a white rabbit. What makes Akiba Maid War so underrated is its perfect blend of absurd humor and brutal action. The animation style is colorful and cute, almost like a sugary dessert, but bite into it, and you realize it's packed with bittersweet, violent layers. The voice acting is on point, switching from squeaky kawaii to deadly serious in seconds, making every character feel like a walking contradiction you can't help but root for. The show also cleverly parodies maid culture, while giving it a dark, edgy twist. It's self-aware, sarcastic, and doesn't hold back on the gore or the gags. Expect bloody battles interrupted by cute poses, and dramatic confrontations happening over tea and cake. It's like if Puella Magi Madoka Magica decided to become a maid cafe manager, but forgot to drop the violent stuff. If you love anime that takes one crazy premise and runs full throttle with it, Akiba Maid War delivers with style and a cheeky grin. It's the perfect guilty pleasure for when you want something wild, weird, and unexpectedly deep beneath all the frill. So put on your frilliest apron, sharpen your claws or your wit, and get ready for a maid cafe experience unlike anything you've ever imagined. Trust me, you won't look at maids the same way again. Up next on number 6, Girls Band Cry. Alright, let's talk Girls Band Cry. The anime that's basically K-On! And Beck had a dramatic love child who's all about the highs, lows, and all the messy feels of being in a girl band, except with way more crying. Yep, if you thought music anime were all cute smiles and epic solos, buckle up, because this one dives deep into the emotional rock and roll trenches. The story follows a group of high school girls who start a band to chase their dreams, but spoiler alert, it's not all sunshine and perfectly timed drum fills. These girls face everything from friendship drama, heartbreak, and creative clashes to the kind of self-doubt that hits harder than a bass drop at a metal concert. It's raw, it's real, and yes, there's a lot of crying, hence the title, duh. What makes Girls Band Cry stand out in the sea of music anime is its gritty honesty. Instead of glossing over the struggles of being young and chasing a dream, It puts all the messy emotions front and center. You get to see the cracks beneath the glittery stage lights and the sweat behind the smile, which makes every triumphant chord feel earned. Plus, the characters aren't just cookie-cutter idle. They're complicated, flawed, and super relatable, which means you'll probably find yourself yelling at the screen, "Girl, just talk to her already." The animation rocks hard, with dynamic concert scenes that'll have you air guitaring in your seat. Plus, quieter moments painted with soft colors and gentle expressions that tug at your heartstring. The soundtrack? Straight fire. Original songs that actually slap, and voice actors who bring the passion and angst with every note. You'll find yourself humming the tunes long after the credits roll, sometimes accidentally during meetings. Oops. If you're into anime that mixes the thrill of live music with the roller coaster of teenage emotion, Girls Band Cry hits the perfect note. It's a show that proves chasing dreams isn't just about the spotlight. It's about the messy, painful, beautiful journey that comes with it. So grab your imaginary guitar and get ready to cry, laugh, and maybe even sing along. Trust me, this underrated gem deserves a front row seat on your watch. On number 5, Grand Blue Dreaming. Alright, get ready to drown in laughter. Grand Blue Dreaming is like that one wild beach party you regret the next morning but can't stop thinking about because it was just that crazy. It's a college comedy anime that somehow manages to make diving and drinking shenanigans equally entertaining. And yes, it's way more than just a show about buff dudes in wetsuits. Our story centers on Iori Kitahara, a bright-eyed freshman who moves to a seaside town for college, ready to live the chill beach life. But instead of becoming the chill beach bum he imagined, he gets dragged into the local diving club, which doubles as the most chaotic, alcohol-fueled party crew this side of the Pacific. Seriously, these guys don't just dive for fish. They dive into kegs, wild pranks, and the kind of bro bonding that makes you question your own life choices. What makes Grand Blue so underrated is that it's not your typical just college life show. The comedy is sharp, slapstick, and downright absurd, with Iori constantly caught between trying to live a responsible life and getting absolutely wrecked by his diving buddies' ridiculous antics. It's like if The Hangover took place underwater, with a side of cute girls, gorgeous seaside views, and surprisingly solid diving info. Yes, you learn stuff too, but mostly you learn how drunk you can get before face planting in a pool. Visually, the show switches between beautiful beach scenes that make you want to book a flight ASAP and over-the-top comedic expressions so exaggerated they belong in a cartoon lab experiment. The soundtrack is upbeat and perfectly matches the carefree yet chaotic vibe of the series, making you want to join the party or at least cheer from the sidelines with a cold drink. But don't let the party fool you. Grand Blue Dreaming also knows how to hit the feels. Beneath the laughs and ridiculousness are genuine moments about friendship, growing up, and figuring out who you want to be, even if that means being a total goofball along the way. So if you're looking for an anime that's part beach vacation, part frat party, and 100% pure fun, Grand Blue Dreaming is your next binge. Just remember, hydrate responsibly, or don't. Your call. Now on number 4. A Lull in the Sea. Alright, next up is A Lull in the Sea, or as I like to call it, Aquaman, but with high school drama and way more feeling. Imagine a world where humans live both underwater and on land, and the biggest conflict isn't sea monsters, but teenage angst and complicated friendships that make you want to scream, "Just talk to each other already." The story follows a group of kids from the underwater village of Shioshishio who have to attend school on land. Sounds simple? Nope. Cue culture clashes, awkward crushes, and emotional baggage deeper than the Mariana Trench. You've got your classic themes of, are we different or the same, and why is everyone so dramatic? But with the added bonus of some seriously beautiful oceanic visuals. This anime is like a calming dive into the ocean. Literally, the water animation is stunning, making you want to grab a snorkel and swim alongside the characters. It's filled with gentle waves, glowing jellyfish vibes, and those quiet moments where the only sound is your own existential crisis about growing up. Plus, the soundtrack is basically a soothing sea breeze wrapped in music form, with melodies that linger like a salty kiss from the ocean. But don't let the calm fool you. A Lull in the Sea packs emotional punches that hit harder than a tidal wave. The characters are all dealing with their own struggle, friendship, family, identity, and love that will have you both smiling and ugly crying in the same episode. If you've ever had that weird teenage feeling of wanting to fit in but also scream, this show gets it, like really gets it. The pacing is gentle, so if you're expecting non-stop action, you might get a little sleepy. Think of it like a warm bath rather than an energy drink. But if you're in the mood for heartfelt drama mixed with beautiful world building and just the right amount of anime romance awkwardness, this is your go-to. So if you want a splash of something different that's equal parts soothing and emotionally real, A lull in the sea is a treasure waiting to be discovered. Dive in. But don't forget your emotional life jacket. On number 3, we got Kaiba. Imagine if Adventure Time got hit by a glitch in the Matrix and then decided to make a psychedelic fever dream about memory, identity, and love. That's Kaiba, a wild ride through a pastel-colored, surreal world where your memories can be stolen, swapped, or completely erased. It's basically Black Mirror meets a Saturday morning cartoon, but with more weird aliens and way more heart. The story follows our nameless hero, who wakes up in a strange place with zero memory, typical amnesia trope, but with a twist. In Kaiba's universe, memories are physical things that get stored in little blobs, and people can literally steal your past to replace it with a fake one. So it's not just, who am I, but did I even exist before? Spoiler. Things get pretty existential and weird real quick. What really sets Kaiba apart is the art style, which looks like it escaped from a 90s kid's trippy fever dream. Bright colors, squiggly lines, and characters that look like walking blobs of Play-Doh. It's like someone threw a paint party inside a kid's cartoon, then hit the "make it philosophical" button. This style might turn some people off if they expect slick, polished anime, but if you stick with it, the story hits you right in the feels, hard. And speaking of feels, don't be fooled by the cheerful colors and goofy designs. Kaiba dives into heavy topic: loss, trauma, class divides, and what it means to truly remember someone. It's like the emotional roller coaster you didn't know you signed up for when you hit play. The soundtrack? Oh man, it's a mix of quirky electronic beats and sweet melodies that perfectly match the show's oddball vibe. It's catchy enough to make you hum along, but mysterious enough to keep you on edge. If you're the kind of anime fan who likes their shows weird, thoughtful, and visually trippy, Kaiba is an absolute must-watch. It's the kind of show that sneaks up on you, hits you with deep existential questions, and then leaves you humming a bizarre tune while you try to process what just happened. So, ready to step into the weirdness? Kaiba is waiting, with all its squishy, colorful, mind-bending glory. Up next on number 2, Eden of the East. Alright, buckle up, because Eden of the East is like if James Bond decided to ditch the martinis and solve Japan's biggest mysteries using only a cell phone, a wad of cash, and a whole lot of questionable luck. It's part thriller, part sci-fi, part, wait, what just happened? And totally deserving of more hype than it got. Our story kicks off with Saki Morimi, a carefree college girl on a trip to America who encounters a seriously confused, naked guy with amnesia named Akira Takizawa. He's got no clue who he is, but he does have a cell phone loaded with 8.2 billion yen, yes, billion with a B, and a mission that's about as vague as save Japan. Honestly, if I had that kind of money and no memory, I'd probably just buy every taco truck in Tokyo and call it a day. But nope, Akira's on a high-stakes game with some mysterious wagashi, not the sweet treat, unfortunately, players trying to change the world in some very complicated ways. What makes Eden of the East so underrated? Well, it's got all the suspense and plot twists of a political thriller, but wrapped up in a slick anime package with characters you actually care about. The pacing is smooth, the mysteries keep piling up like bad Wi-Fi signals, and it manages to sneak in moments of genuine humor and heartfelt emotion. Yes, you can cry and chuckle awkwardly at the same time. Plus, the animation? Clean, stylish, and with just enough techie glow to make your smartphone jealous. The soundtrack slaps too, mixing tense beats with emotional highs, like it's trying to get you pumped and sobbing in equal measure. One of the best things about Eden of the East is how it juggles serious themes like social responsibility, power, and isolation, without turning into a boring lecture. Instead, it tosses you into a mystery filled with quirky characters, gadgets that would make you proud, and a plot that refuses to stay simple. So if you like your anime with a side of intrigue, political drama, and a little, wait, what's going on? Confusion, Eden of the East has got you covered. Serious, this one's the perfect watch when you want to feel smart without actually doing any homework. And hey, who doesn't want that? Finally, on the number 1 spot, we have Mushishi. Alright, number 1 on our list is Mushishi, the anime equivalent of a Zen garden mixed with a supernatural nature documentary narrated by a guy who looks like he's mastered the art of chilling. Picture this. A world full of mysterious creatures called mushi, basically nature's weirdest freeloaders that exist somewhere between life and death, but also, might ruin your day if you're unlucky. Our protagonist, Ginkgo, is the ultimate mushi whisperer. He travels from place to place, solving mushi-related problems with all the calm of a yoga instructor who's just reached enlightenment. If Bob Ross painted peaceful trees, Ginkgo would talk to the tiny, invisible bugs living inside them. And believe me, watching him handle situations with a soft voice and philosophical vibes makes your chaotic social media feed feel like a WWE cage match. Now, why is Mushishi so underrated? It's the kind of show that's not about flashy battles or over-the-top transformations. Nope, it's more like a slow, poetic stroll through the eerie beauty of nature. Each episode is a standalone story, and most feel like a bedtime story. If bedtime stories involved creepy ghost bugs and existential dread, it's like David Attenborough got possessed by a Japanese folklore ghost and decided to narrate an anime. The animation style? Dreamy watercolors meet delicate brushstrokes, creating an atmosphere so chill you might actually forget you're watching TV and not meditating in a forest shrine. The soundtrack is subtle and haunting, like a lullaby sung by nature itself. This is the anime that makes you want to put on a kimono, drink matcha, and ponder the meaning of life, or at least what's lurking in your garden soil. But, fair warning, if you're expecting fast-paced action or cliffhangers every 5 minutes, you're in for a slow burn. Think of it like the anime version of a slow-cooked meal. It might not satisfy your instant gratification cravings, but if you give it a chance, it'll fill you up with something way deeper than popcorn entertainment. So, if you're tired of screaming heroes and want to vibe with something soothing, mysterious, and just a little bit spooky, Mushishi is your new best friend. Just don't blink. You might miss a mushi. And there you have it, 10 hidden anime gems that totally deserve your binge-watching time instead of just lurking in the shadows of everyone's seen it lists. Whether you want to cry your eyes out with girls band Cry, join a maid cafe that doubles as a battlefield in Akiba-made war, or groove to samurai hip-hop beats and samurai champloo, this list has you covered. If you enjoyed this trip down underrated lane, don't forget to smash that like button like it's a spoiler warning, subscribe for more quirky anime goodness, and hit the bell so you never miss out on future anime adventures. Got a favorite underrated anime I didn't mention? Drop it in the comments. Let's build the ultimate secret anime club right here. Until next time, keep your snacks close, your anime recommendations closer, and remember, just because it's underrated doesn't mean it's not worth your time. Peace out and happy watching.